So we're going to talk about 3.5 lesson number 4, and we're still doing long division and then some ideas that come out of long division when we do this. So, again, I'm going to copy this down correctly. So I go like this and I get 2x cubed plus 7x squared plus 2x plus 9, right? And then it says, let's divide that by 2x plus 3. Now, don't get thrown off by the fact that there's a 2 here. You're still doing the same thing. You're still doing the same thing. This might come out to be a little bit funny. So just keep in mind, you're still doing the same thing. So if you need a little helper guy right here in terms of long division numbers, do that. But I'm just going to go for this without any of that. So the very first question I should ask myself is what? What should I first ask myself? What should I first ask? Yeah, how to get to 2x cubed. So you say 2x times what gives me 2x cubed? Yeah, there's a couple different ways that you guys are asking that. That's awesome. So can you guys look at all those different ways that everybody's asking that? So one of your classmates said how to get to 2x cubed. Someone else says how many 2x's fit into 2x cubed. I like that. Someone else said divide 2x cubed by 2x. Exactly. What times what gets 2x cubed? Exactly. Someone gives the answer x times what gives 2x cubed. What gives you 2x cubed? Exactly. So all of these are very different ways to do it. You should pick the one that makes the most sense to you. Now, someone gave an operation. So that last entry in there, someone says, this is how I do it. I think about it as division. Very good. So this person says 2x cubed divided by 2x gives me what? Well, that's just 2x squared. So I'm going to put that above the 2x squared line. Now notice here, I don't have any missing pieces. That's why I didn't leave any empty spots. Like there was one. Oh, I think I did it on a video that I haven't. It's over on the ready, set, go side. So I didn't need to leave any empty spots there. Okay. So you guys all said 2x squared. So I'm going to put a 2x squared on the top here. And then what do I do? And then what do I do? So I have 2x squared here. Now what do I do? Very good. Now you're going to multiply. This is exactly the same thing as long division. So now I'm going to multiply. I'm actually going to distribute 2x squared to 2x and 3. So I'm multiplying this whole thing by this whole thing, and I'm going to put it down here. Now I do not put the pluses in between because I know the next step I'm going to go through and change my signs, therefore subtracting. So 2x squared. Wait, did I say this wrong? Did I put 2x squared and you guys told me x squared? Man, Miss Johnson, she's too excited about math. Sorry, it should just be x squared. I don't know why we're putting 2. X squared times 2x is 2x cubed. So again, this is actually how I knew that I made a mistake right now, is because I multiplied those two in my head and I was like, wait, 4x cubed, what? And then I looked back at your guys' answer and I was like, oh, you put that 2 on your own there, buddy. So these two should match, because when I subtract, they should go away. If they don't go away, you did it wrong. Okay. So x squared times 3 is 3x squared. So I'm going to put 3x squared. Now I'm not going to put the plus sign in between, although I should, because right now I know the next step is I'm going to go through and subtract, which means I'm going to add the opposite, right? I'm going to add the opposite. So there goes me adding the opposite. So then I subtract. So then 2x cubed goes away. 7x squared minus 3x squared is 4x squared plus 2x plus 9. So I bring everybody down. I know some of you don't have that practice. You like to leave everybody up here. I don't. I like to bring everybody down so I don't forget anybody. So then what do? I do the same thing. I do those 3 exactly. I do it again. Someone just said that in the chat. I do those 3 steps again. I divide, I multiply, then subtract. Okay. So 2x times what gives me 4x squared? 2x times what? Yeah, you guys are telling me 2x, Miss Johnson. Okay, let's see. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. And then I'm going to subtract, but really I'm going to add the opposite. Okay. Okay, so then those two go away. Again, these two don't go away. You did it wrong. I'm giving you a lot of checks in your head. Because if I give you a lot of checks in your head, when you get to the place and you're like, ugh, like I just did, right? Like I messed up right here. And I was like, ugh. I was like, oh, I did it wrong. So I give you a lot of checks in your head so that you know what you did wrong. So negative 4x plus 9, I'm going to just check my math. 2x minus 6x. Yeah, that's negative 4x. Okay. So then again, you repeat. So it's divide, multiply, subtract, repeat, divide, multiply, subtract, repeat. Okay, so 2x times what gives me negative 4x, and you all would say, oh, that's negative 2, Miss Johnson. And even if you were wrong, you would know because this wouldn't come out the same, and then we'd figure that out. Okay, so negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Let me change colors really quick. Negative 4x, and negative 2 times 6 is negative 6. Wait, I said that wrong. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Okay, then I'm going to subtract, right? So then in reality, I am going to add the opposite. I'm going to add the opposites. So then that goes away and I'm like, woohoo, I did it right. 9 plus 6 is 15. And then you repeat and you're like, wait a second, Miss Johnson, 2x cannot get me to 15. And you're right. So in the olden days, we would call this your remainder, right? In the olden days, back in 3rd grade, 4th grade, you would call this and you would put R15. Do you guys remember that? Up here, they had you writing 2 separate multiplication equations. Oh no, that was the homework. Sorry, I'm getting backwards. So the way I want to write this is I just want to write my answer. So your answer could be in 2 forms, and I'm going to show you the form that I prefer. I'm going to show you the form that I prefer. So my answer is going to look like this. It's going to be x squared plus 2x minus 2, remainder 15, right? Remainder 15. Now, after a while, we no longer used remainder 15. Eventually, what did we use? Eventually, how would we write our remainder? What would we do with our remainder? So for example, if I made you do like 10 divided by 3, at first you would write 3 remainder 1, right? At first you would write 3 remainder 1. Then when you got older, yeah, you did decimals, but we're not going to touch the decimals here because that's a little bit funky. So yeah, we're going to rewrite it as a fraction. Good remembering on decimals. Very good. So we rewrote this as a fraction, so which is equal to 3. And then how do I rewrite this as a fraction? What do I write? Here's my answer, 3. And then how do I write this part right here? How do I write this fraction? Yeah, 1/3. So this guy is my remainder. And this guy is this guy. So let me just draw arrows so you guys can all see. That guy is that guy, right? And that guy is that guy. So if that's true, how do I write the other version of this? Okay, so let's just write that first big guy. X squared, this is or. X squared plus 2x minus 2. Now I had put a plus here. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is an invisible plus here, right? 3 1/3. Listen to even how you say it. You say 3 1/3. So there's an invisible plus here between our mixed number of our whole number and our fraction. It is not times, right? It is not times because then it would just be 1 and that's not true, right? So then we take our remainder. Who's our remainder? Oh yeah, that guy, 15. And who's our denominator? What do I put as my denominator? Very good. It's my divisor. Very good. Okay. So let's just draw arrows for everybody. Like, where did this come from, Ms. Johnson? Okay. This guy goes here. And this guy went here. Okay. So our remainder guy is our numerator. and our divisor is our denominator. Okay. All right. Some of you are mentioning the multiplication statement. You can actually use the multiplication statement as well, but they're asking you for the answer. So the answer doesn't include the multiplication statement. Just like to check this, you wouldn't say the answer is 3 times 3 plus 1. You wouldn't say that. You would just say my answer is 3 remainder 1, right? So this is our answer when we divide. So when I tell you to divide and I want you to show me an answer, this is actually what I'm asking you to do. Okay, the last little piece, Ms. Johnson, how do you check your answer? You guys all remember how to check your answer? Go to Desmos, our friend, the Desmos. And I want to see if I divided correctly. So I'm going to throw all of this into some gigantic fraction, which looks like this, right? So we go parentheses, 2x to the third plus 7x squared. Now make sure Ms. Johnson is typing correctly, because Ms. Johnson, say I just did it wrong, plus 9, right? And you see this crazy looking cubic function. You see it, he goes up, down, up, right? So there's my fraction. And then I'm going to go out here and I'm going to divide it, because that's what they told me to do. Divide it by 2x plus 3. And because I'm in Desmos, I don't have to put parentheses. If you're using a TI calculator, then you'd have to put parentheses around here. Okay, but because Desmos, it does it for me. Oh, it doesn't like it because I didn't put parentheses. Let's see. Oh, and I put a Z. You guys. I put a Z. Sorry. Okay, so there is my crazy looking fraction. Look at how crazy that looks. Let's zoom out a little bit and look at this craziness. Look at that. That looks crazy, right? And some of you are like, Ms. Johnson, it doesn't look like a function. It is not actually a function. Good job. For those of you who said, Ms. Johnson, it doesn't look like a function over here. It's actually not. Very good. And you could tell that it's not a function. Actually, is this a function? Let's see. Yeah, no, it's not. Because look, it hits here and then it goes back over there. So there's that. And then how would you check your answer? Well, I'm going to plug this or this in there, but you have to know how to write in there. So I'm going to write this one into there. By the way, this is my preferred method, using it as a fraction, right? Because that's kind of like the more grown-up way. So we go x squared plus 2x minus 2 plus 15 divided by 2x plus, I keep doing z, plus 3. Look at that. What did I see? Anybody see what I saw? Look at that. Yeah, they overlap. And if they overlap, that means this and this are equivalent. That means basically I did it right. So, so for those of you who are like, I'm a little bit nervous about today's test, this is how you check your answer. You use your calculator, you use your graphing tools, you use checking to check your answer. Okay. All right. So that is how you divide. Again, it's either this or this. I prefer this way on your test today, because this is kind of the more mature way of saying it, not remainder. We don't say remainder anymore, although it does have value in context, right? All right.